Hello everybody, welcome to For His Namesake. I'm Martina. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to everybody actually. But if you are coming here for the first time, I'm Martina and this is Valentine, and we are a homeless family living in our truck. Okay, so today we're going to talk about why are we always in such a hurry? Everyone around the world is always in a hurry. And that famous saying that we have here in the United States, if you have a famous saying somewhere else and you're in another country, please share it down in the comments below. That would be exciting to know if you have a famous saying about hurrying up over there. Here it's haste makes waste. That's one of them for sure. That's the big one that I can think of. And then there's the other one, hurry up and wait. I never understood that. Someone said that to me once when I arrived to a meeting somewhere and they said hurry up and wait, and I thought, what are they saying? But it means that we were in a hurry to get to the meeting or whatever it is we were in a hurry to get to, but then we have to wait for it to start. So that's what that means. And I'm going to go ahead and share a passage in Proverbs real quick, because sometimes I know that I forget about including the scripture sometimes, now that we're not doing it Sunday school style anymore, but more of a discussion, our talks these days. So I'm going to go ahead and share Proverbs chapter 21, verse 5, and it reads, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty." Isn't that the truth? Mm-hmm. So
kind of reminds me of that story, the Little Red Hen. It's so cute.
Oh, such a cute
so
story.
Cute. For those who don't, I'm just going to paraphrase. The Little Red Hen, she invited others to bake bread with her, and as everyone knows, baking bread from scratch takes time. The yeast has to rise. Oh, first she had to gather the corn. I think it was actually cornbread or something, so even longer. She has to go out to the field and get it. Then she has to knead it. Then it has to rise. Then you have to knead again, and it has to rise. That takes like 4 hours, depending on what kind of bread you're making. And everyone that she asked said, "Oh no, if it's gonna be that long, no, just tell me when it's ready, and then I'll come and eat it." I think she's basically saying, "Well, you'll be sorry, because I was gonna make it for me, my kids. I was just gonna ask you to help me to make it, but that's okay. I'll make it myself." And she did. She did all the hard work herself, and just she and her little babies ate it. No one else was invited because they didn't help make it. See, they wanted the shortcut. But she was not hasty. She took her time. She planned ahead of time the steps to make the bread, and she got the reward out of it.
Right. Yes. Now be sure to go and read that story. That is so sweet. I know that in our homeschooling days, we used to go to these conferences, and there was a man. He had a wonderful story.
Jim
voice.
Weiss.
Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Jim Weiss?
Weiss or Weiss?
W-E-I-S-S?
Yes.
Yeah, so check him out. He gives the story the best way. If you like to listen to it audibly instead of reading it, it makes it more exciting because his voice goes really well with everything, and he makes the sound of the hen talking, and it's really cool. Even as an adult, it's a fun story to listen to, so check that one out. I'll see if my husband can put it in the description box below, so you can check it out. But yeah, so that's a cute little story to read and know about. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so yeah, so we wrote down some ideas of, or not ideas, but ways that people are in a hurry. I mean, there's so many, and I'm sure we're going to leave some out, and you can put them down in your comments below, different ways that we have been in a hurry, or times when you have been in a hurry and it became waste. It did not end up good because you were in a hurry. So you want to go and start? I don't want to take over here. Here's some ideas, or you probably have some too on your own.
Well, those who left the house late, so they think they're late to work or late to some other function. Here in this city, seems like everyone's in a hurry. Mm-hmm. They just zoom past you. Maybe that's the same in your city too. I don't know, but it's kind of annoying. Like, that's your own fault for leaving late. You don't punish others and cut in front of us like that and cause accidents.
Yep.
There's so many busted up vehicles here. That's probably because they were in a hurry.
Yes, definitely.
And I've been late to places before too. But thankfully I'm not the driver.
Yes. Right. But it's no fun sitting in the vehicle when we are late somewhere and we're in a hurry. And then I kind of, there's that saying that says, what comes around goes around, or you get a taste of your own medicine. That's more what I'm looking at here, is that sometimes we will make fun of, not fun of, but just get really irritated at some of the drivers, like she said, that just are in a hurry and just cut in front of us at the last minute, and then they keep on going, and then they're in and out of traffic and trying to get ahead. And sometimes we meet them at the next light, and that's when I just feel like rolling down my window, and I wish they would roll down theirs and I could say, you didn't get very far, did you? I know that's not very nice to say, but that's just what's going in my head at the time, because I'm thinking they really didn't get ahead by zooming in and out of traffic and hurrying up and making everyone else nervous in the process. So yeah, but I was going to go somewhere with that, and my mind went, I don't know, I have these tendencies to get on different, what do you call it, rabbit trails, and didn't get anywhere on my own thought process with that. But yeah, so rushing through traffic, and really not, sometimes those people may get there. Well, yeah, what I was going to say is about ourselves. The get a taste of your own medicine is that while we are gawking and maybe very irritated with somebody who's in a hurry and trying to get ahead, then sometimes when we ourselves are late, then my husband will be in a hurry himself. Now, we don't go in and out of traffic. We're not that talented to go. Some people are very talented. It's almost, you wonder if they used to be like a professional car racer, because they're so talented in going in, weaving, that's the word I'm looking for, weaving in and out of traffic at a very fast pace. We're not that talented. We're not that, I don't even know if talent is the word, but skilled, who knows? But sometimes we end up going a little fast, and it's not fun for the people who are in the vehicle not driving to be nervous. I have a tendency to get very nervous these days. I cannot handle very fast driving or in a hurry driving, or people cutting in at the last minute. That makes me very nervous and irritated. I can't take that. It's just, I just can't. Something about hitting the mid-50s. If you're in your mid-50s, you probably can understand what we're going through as mid-50 people. younger folks, they might be able to handle that a little better.
It gets my anxiety going. So the moral is, leave early. Do yourself that favor. Don't cause yourself an amount of stress. There's a saying that my band teacher in high school used to say.
I like that one.
You ready for it? Oh no, I forgot the saying. It's so good.
To be
early is to be late is to to be on time is to be late. That was it. To be on time is to be late. To be early is to be on time.
Right. Wow, isn't that a neat saying? I love that saying. It's one that you're always going to remember.
And let's just say I like to be the early person.
Yeah, even if you have to sit and wait, and that's okay. Like in her situation, she was in band, so just if you're early and you're waiting for everyone to get there, you can already, tweak your instrument, kind of, play it and make sure it sounds good, tune it up,
But it's no fun, even when you are on time, you're still sort of late because you just barely made it to your seat.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Right, yes. Okay, so we have rushing through traffic. That is not good, because I'm wondering if that's where a lot of accidents come from. It's just people in a hurry, or they're driving way too fast, and they're probably going way over the speed limit, and then, crash into something that was stopped in the road or the highway. Maybe there was construction and everybody stopped, and somebody comes flying down the highway and go, oh my goodness, and it's too late. I wonder if that's how a lot of accidents happen, because people are in such a hurry. We should have done some research before, just to check on that. That'd be interesting to know.
Well, we know one reason why they're rushing through traffic.
Yes.
DoorDash.
So those of you, I don't know if you're in overseas, if you have DoorDash, can you explain to people what that is exactly?
Well, there's different, I get them confused, but they basically, it's delivery service. There's also Instacart, there's Uber Eats, or just plain Uber. Anything that causes a delivery and if it's for a restaurant, you know, they go to their order, they get something on their phone. Okay, I gotta get this, this, and this, and they're waiting for the order. Okay, I got it. I gotta rush out the door and get this food to this person. No.
Yeah. But then we know someone who does DoorDash for a living, and the way they were talking to us, it sounded like it was almost like a competition. Like an order would come out and they would look at it and say, yeah, I can be there and I can take care of this one. But then someone else who saw it first, well, then they can take care of the order. And I think that's why they're in a hurry. Like, I got here first. I get to take care. I'm at the restaurant first. I get to take care of this order. But it seems like it's competitive. I would not. At one time, when my husband was looking for a job, somebody had suggested, "Hey, you could do DoorDash." And we had thought about it, and I thought, I'm so glad that he did not do that. I mean, he'd probably have a heart attack by now because of the stress level. That has to be an extremely stressful job, to always be rushing, to be in some kind of competition. I got this notification first. I'm going to go ahead and take care of this order. And if I'm saying it wrong, and you know all about DoorDash, please correct me and put it down in the comments below how that really does work. It just seems like a competition, and whoever gets there first to the restaurant to get the food gets to deliver it to the customer first. But explain, I may have that wrong, but the way this man was talking to us, it sounded like that. And he goes, I'm going to be there first. And I thought, wow, yeah, so that's... And we've noticed that a lot of the DoorDash people, in addition to people that have just normal smashed up cars here, the people that do DoorDash in this city, we've noticed, the corner or the front end of their vehicles are all mushed up. And I'm thinking, that must have been when they were trying to hurry up and get in front of somebody, and then they just maybe crashed on the side of the vehicle and just kept going. Kind of a hit and run, maybe even. I don't know. And then one time I don't know if you were asleep or what, or if I saw it and Daddy, but one time a DoorDash person, and we knew it was a DoorDash because we wanted to see where they were going. So we watched them where they exactly went, and sure enough, they went into a restaurant, and then they came out with all those big paper bags. That's always DoorDash, and quickly got in the car and hopped off again. But he went in front of a huge 18-wheeler truck. I mean, we're talking at the last minute. I mean, it was awful. I was just horrified at what was going to happen. It did not look pretty. So please, folks, if you're doing DoorDash and you're racing through traffic like that, please think again.
Safety first.
Right, safety first. There you go. Okay, so we mentioned DoorDash. We mentioned rushing through traffic. Rushing through, what else did we mention? Well, the streets would be the same thing as traffic.
You can also rush in your spiritual life.
Yes.
Rushing through your Bible. I prefer to do mine in the morning, and I'm not making fun of those who do it later. Maybe you have to go to work at like 4 a.m. or something like that, and maybe you can read your Bible on your break, but even then, it's not, I don't think it'd be very right trying to eat and read at the same time. But I'm just talking about more of those who are kind of bored of the Bible, and so they rush through it. Like, or they're constantly thinking of the next thing to do on their to-do list. I got chores to do, I got the dishes to wash, I got the laundry to do, I got to feed breakfast to the kids, it's so much of a to-do list. And the Bible reading is just a check. Oh, good, I got through that, next.
Or even prayer.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really blunt with God. I say, Lord, I really don't have time to pray to you right now, and like do a long, drawn-out prayer. So I'm just going to do my prayer, but then I've got to get to work now, and that's just not nice. It's disrespectful. Actually, it's dishonoring. It's disrespectful towards God, and so if you've been there and done that, and you're not afraid to share, you can share that. But otherwise, it's between you and God. But yeah, I don't mind sharing that because that's something I do need to work on when I have a full day. Just a quick prayer, but usually I'm praying to God all day long. Usually, I mean,
sporadically.
Yeah, just different things I'm praying about, whether it's for someone or a situation or whatever. But I'm talking about a long prayer where I've got like a prayer journal, and I pray for specific people on that list. That's the type of prayer I'm talking about, where sometimes I'm just, okay, I'm going to pray for this person, this person, this person. Lord, I just pray that you take care of all of them. In Jesus' name, amen. Now I've got to go do my errands. That's terrible. Shame on me. Okay.
I think Nancy DeMoss Walker, someone said, think of having an appointment with God. You know, when you go to like a doctor's appointment or some professor meeting, you're going to make the time out with this person, and you're not going to rush through it. So I think she said, think of it that way. Think already, all right, tomorrow at such and such time, if you need to think of it that way, I'm going to make an appointment with God. It's just going to be him and me.
That's a good one, yes. And when you mention appointments, that made me think of like having a doctor's appointment. Sometimes you'll have an appointment, and then sometimes you still have to wait for maybe, and usually there'll be a sign on the front office counter, and it'll say, if you've been waiting more than 30 minutes, please let the front desk know. And sometimes, I mean, just recently I went to a doctor, and I waited for 45 minutes before I was called back, and I was wondering what is going on. I knew there's a lot of people in the waiting room, but I thought, they have 3 doctors here. What's the holdup? Well, then I found out that this particular doctor, he likes to take his time with his patients. He likes to listen to all their problems and then go over things with them thoroughly. And I thought that was nice, because a lot of doctors are in a hurry. You're just like another number. Hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so, you're so-and-so, and your problem is this. Okay, well, I can prescribe this and this medicine for you. And, okay, have a nice day. And then they go out the door, and then you're like, but what? I have all these questions. I have things to share. And they're in a hurry because they have so many patients to go through. I don't like that either. I like it when a doctor, it's rare that a doctor will actually take the time, and yes, it may be a little bit of a wait for the next patient and the next patient after that, but so I guess that's the bad part. But the good part is that he truly cares. That's rare in today's society, to have a doctor that's going to take his time, even though he's got a boatload of people waiting in the waiting room to see him. So, and apparently that's how it was with all 3 doctors there. They were taking their time with all the patients. Now there's a nice lesson, you know, a nice thing. So if you're a doctor and you've been rushing all this time, maybe just take your time with your patients. Okay, because we would hope that you became a doctor not for money, but because you care for people. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's one, I thought about that. I mean, we didn't have that one written down, but when you mentioned appointment, then I thought, oh, like doctor's appointments. Okay, you go ahead and share another one, or maybe you have one that came to mind other than what we have written down.
Well, since we were talking about rushing through your spiritual life, rushing through prayer and Bible reading, there's also rushing through church. And pastors are guilty of this too. They make very short sermons. We've been there before, like, oh, okay, I have more to share, but you know what? That football game's coming on. I know you guys want to get to it. I want to get to it too. Go, whatever. And it's like, how did the sermon end up on a football note? You know, no offense, folks, but okay, I got an issue with that. Anyway. So yeah, just rushing through the sermon, make them very short. And if there's anything wrong, like short prayers, I don't like long, drawn out sermons either. That's just me. I need to keep awake, obviously, as long as the pastor's engaging.
Yeah.
But don't make it so short that you're thinking about the next thing on that to-do list.
Right. And then you can share this one in a minute, but I was just thinking about, it's raining where we're at right now, which is nice. Kind of rare. After a very hot, well, it hasn't been a very hot, so I would say last summer was very hot. It's just been very humid, so it makes it feel hotter. It feels like we're in a spa constantly, especially at night when we're sleeping with the windows down. There's no airflow whatsoever.
We wake up sweating.
In some of the parking spots that we're at. Yeah, I mean, you can, I know this sounds gross, but we can actually feel the sweat rolling down our legs, and we can feel our shirts kind of, you know, caked with sweat. I know that sounds gross, but we're telling you the way it is. But now it's raining, and so it's a lot cooler, but we have the windows up, of course, because we're talking and we don't want to get wet inside the truck. But I was just thinking about rain, is that if you are in a hurry in the rain, let's say you're running through the rain, you don't have an umbrella, and you're trying to hurry, what happens? You can slip, believe it or not. And I learned something new. Well, I don't know if it's new, but I learned that, you know how in parking lots they'll have like stripes, painted stripes, yellow or white or blue, or it may have like a handicap sign, big square that's blue. Believe it or not, in the rain, those get very slippery, and I have actually slipped, and I think my husband has too. So be careful in the rain especially, don't be rushing through a parking lot, running through it, and then slip on one of those painted areas. So that's another thing. Like it says, there's usually a sign on roadways that will say slippery when wet. You know, you've seen those signs, and that is so true, not just in driving but also walking, you know.
So we learned our lessons so that doesn't happen, and we're trying to get out of the rain and we slip. We always have an umbrella inside the truck now, just on the bottom, so we can quickly grab it.
Yes, we used to keep it out on the bedding of the truck, and that was kind of dumb on our part. So yeah, now we keep it in here. Right. So yeah, and you want to share this last one that I wrote down? Unless you can come up with it. Can you read my writing?
Cramming for tests at the last minute. Yeah. Procrastination, when you procrastinate and then you're rushing at the last minute to get that work project done, or that essay, or you have a test coming up the next morning. That's so stressful.
And not productive.
No. I don't think, and I'm not bragging, but I'm the person who does kind of like to get things early. Although lately here, I notice I've been in kind of procrastination mode. I need to get out of that. I need to go back to my high school years, because in high school, I was a nervous person. I wanted to make sure I did get things done on time, because I had witnessed others who procrastinated and rushed through it, and they didn't get the best grade, or it was sloppy. I remember in geography class, we had to make big maps, and we had to actually measure out the longitude lines and the latitude lines. That takes time. You can't draw in a hurry the map of Asia. And when I say the map of Asia, I mean we had to draw every single country. You can't rush through that.
Right. Oh my goodness, that would look terrible if you rushed through it and said to your teacher, "Here it is.
Here's the map
and they
of
thought,
Asia."
"What is this?" Of course, these days people use, what do you call it?
These days you probably
technology
don't even need
of
to
some
do that
sort,
anymore.
but still.
This is back in my day, and that was still in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So, just do yourself a favor, study way ahead of time, do that project ahead of time. You'll be so happy. Then you have the rest of the day or the week to enjoy yourself.
Exactly. Yes. And so we've shared quite a few ways that people can rush through things. And if you can come up with any more, which there's several more and thousands, probably hundreds more, please share them down below in the comments, or a time when you hurried up for something and it ended up not being a good situation, whether it's rushing through traffic and you had a little bit of an accident, or you ran a red light because you were in a hurry. We see that all the time here in this town. People are running lights, and they're not just going like real slow through the red light, like, oh oops, I missed that one. No, it's like they're purposely racing through that red light. They can see it, a mile away practically. Like, I know that's yellow, but I'm just going to keep going because I'm in a hurry. And they're going, 50, 60 miles an hour. It's crazy.
When you mentioned racing, I might make up another story. The hare and the tortoise. Remember that cute story?
That's so cute.
It was in a race when the hare dared the sweet little turtle to race with him, because the hare knew that he was going to win. And there he goes, rushing. The sweet little turtle was he's slowly but surely coming up. And the hare's like, "Oh yeah, I did all of that rushing, so I'm good. I could just relax until he gets there." And he fell asleep, and here comes the sweet little turtle. He passes by the hare and he wins the race. Makes me so happy.
Yay, turtle.
So you see, rushing, not bragging about that you can get to places sometimes not good either.
Right.
You need to be diligent and plan it out, and just make your way there like the tortoise.
Yeah.
So we can learn a lot. I think it's Aesop. Remember Aesop? He was a storyteller, and he did a lot of, I don't know if he's a Christian or not, but he made a lot of good points through his storytelling. A lot of them have morals, and I think the hare and the tortoise was actually an Aesop's fable. And I don't know about the Little Red Hen, but look up Aesop's stories, because they have a lot of moral and a lot of good lessons to learn from them.
Yes.
So, don't be like the Little Red Hen's neighbors, and don't be like the rushing hare and think that you can get places on time and beat the other little person down. Think of that sweet little tortoise.
Yes. And on that note,
we hope that you enjoyed this discussion. Don't rush. And we hope that you like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And may you have a blessed day taking your time.
yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.